Learning Arduino with Fritzing Starter Kit by and with Stefan Hermann. Fritzing and PCBs. As you know, Fritzing is a software which is even for create PCB layouts, and today I would like to show you how you can do that. So, making a PCB. Therefore, I will start with a project with, let's say with a servo and with this LDR and with a resistor, and maybe let's say I have a LED as an output too, and LED always needs a resistor, 220 ohms. I connect this to the ground, and my LED should be connected to the digital pin 6. Okay, so here I have my circuit, and now I maybe will have something else on there. Let's see. Maybe it should even have a temperature sensor. Right, so my temperature sensor needs an input voltage, and it's quite nice in Fritzing. You can hover these little legs and there will be an explanation of what is it good for. Okay, and the middle leg is my output voltage. So let's take this to an analog. I'm not quite sure about the circuit, but main topic was how to make a PCB. Okay, let's say this is a temperature sensor, and we have an LED, and we have a light depending resistor, and the servo motor as a second output. Okay, now to check my circuit, I can again use schematics. Therefore, I only have to rearrange it a little bit. And let's start with the LED here. Oops. And the LED gets its resistor. It's that one. Can rotate it a little bit, and here I have my LDR, which comes from the analog side. Can place it here, and it has got its own resistor. Okay, let's bend it here, and and this is a temperature sensor. So here I know this is connected to the analog, and this is connected to the analog too, and my resistor is connected to the LDR, and I will arrange this a little bit. Okay, I know my servo is connected to the ground too. It's here. It's connected to the output from the Arduino. It's here. And the other leg is connected to a ground. And LED is here, connected to the resistor. And here is a ground. Here is a ground, and this resistor was connected to the ground too here. and I have this wire which is connected to the 5V plus. So I will place it there, and then it's clear where the current goes from where to where. Okay, so now this is my schematic and it looks right, and I can go to the PCB view, and here I changed this big rectangular PCB to Arduino shape here, and these are the connectors from the Arduino, and I have to place them on this board. That looks nice. And now I can say, where should my components appear? So my temperature sensor should be here. So, and my servo should be here, and I think I will use 90-degree pin headers so that the servo jack can be sticked in here from this side. So I need a little bit more space in front, and my LED comes in here. I will rotate it a little bit. Fritzing comes with an auto routing function, and it makes sense to try to make it for the auto router as easy as possible, so as less as possible cross connections, but it's even possible to route everything by hand. Okay, so here I can rotate this a little bit more, okay, around here. So now if I take one of these air wires, I will make a copper trace. And the nice thing of PCBs is that it makes the copper traces, right? So here I have to take care, because this R2 here is my LDR, and actually I don't want to have it there, so I delete this trace again. My LDR should be maybe more in the front, because maybe I will sense light in front of my PCB. So, and this is a reference resistor for the LDR. This can be placed here, or I could go and auto route everything, or I can manually route. Manually routing is actually the better choice, because then you can really see what you are working on. And so orange means the bottom side, and if I will move it to the other side, then I make a right click and say move it to the other side. And here I can connect it too. So it makes the routing quite easy, and now I can see, okay, there is a wire, but I have a THT resistor, which means that there is no connection under there. And I can say, okay, I can go and simply route it through the resistor. Okay, here this is a ground connection. Oh no, this is a 5V plus connection, sorry. And again, it's quite simple to say, okay, this plus has to be attached here, and now there comes a little trick. I just routed this around this resistor, so that's free again. Yeah, here I can again say move it to the other side if I would like to have this on top too. And here I have a ground which I would like to connect. And now I come a little bit in trouble, because here I can't route through this wire, therefore I route this simple to the other side. So now it's routed on the bottom side of the PCB. Makes life quite easy now. Okay, here again I have a connection, and it seems to be easier to route this on the bottom side, or if I click it and hold, then I can see, okay, so if I could even connect this to this resistor directly. So it's up to me, the way seems to be the same. I will say I take this on the bottom side, and now it's done. Now I can change the labels, which will be printed on the PCB. And here I don't want actually on the resistor have the resistor number. I prefer the resistor value, the resistance. And I will move the label over there. So this resistor here is the LDR. And I would like to have this here in front. This guy is a servo. Okay, I will write it here. And this again is my resistor, and I will display its resistance. T1, this is for my temperature sensor, quite okay. And this LED 1 is maybe in my circuit an error LED. So I will change the name to error. Okay, that looks nice for me. This is what I don't want to display, so I can hide that. And important for my PCB maybe could be that I place my own logo. You can take your own logo and make it make an SVG and import it, or I can say credits to Fritzing and place this here, for example. Maybe that's a little bit too big for my PCB, and I can adjust the size. Made with Fritzing. So now I can go and ask the design rule check if my design is okay, and it says your sketch is ready for sorry. Your sketch is ready for production. Perfect. Now I can add a copper fill or a ground fill, and the difference is that the copper fill will fill the empty areas with copper. The ground fill will do the same, but try to connect to the ground. So this is what I try to do. It's very nice against noise on the PCB. And copper fill is a function what should be what you should do all the time, because making PCBs, their copper is removed from a PCB, and it's better to have as much as possible copper which stays on the PCB. So it's something like that's an environmental question. Okay, so now that's ready, and I could go and export this, for example, as an extended Gerber file format. So the most production services are working with the Gerber format. Or if you would like to, you can order it with Fritzing service, then just click on order PCBs and you are guided directly to the Fritzing Fab website. So to produce it with us, you have to save the file as a shareable file, FZZ, and this is a file you can then simply upload to Fritzing Fab. This episode was brought to you by Fritzing.org, the free and open software for project documentation, sharing and PCB layout creation. Check out our PCB fabrication service Fritzing Fab. With the purchase of Fritzing products, you actively support the development of the Fritzing software. For more Arduino related questions, go to arduino.cc/forum. Thanks for watching.